living indoors and all. Anyway, so game number one. Yeah, I just looking, I'm going for something different today, but man, that hurts when you take them off. All right, though. So we are in the game, of course. Travel, you got some. Okay, now I got to put them back on. See, I'm not gonna lie, mine do look cooler. Chat, who do you think sunglasses look cooler? Breakies or
mine are my girlfriend's though. So I just got them.
Don't admit that.
Okay, I mean they're mine. They're feminine, okay.
Anyways, the game has started. Enough about us. Let's go into this. So, of course, Impunity versus Team It's Gosu. Impunity there on the Legion side. It's Gosu on the Hellborn side. Here on the right over there. So the blind bands actually is still looking to finish, and there we go. Moraxis, Wretched Hag, going to be blind banded by Impunity, so interesting there. Tundra and Ophelia from Team It's Gosu. Wretched Hag being blind banned here by Impunity. What do you think of that?
It's very interesting. I mean, we did talk about yesterday, Hag was picked up in every single game, and guess what? He was on the winning team every single time.
Yeah.
I believe so. Twice picked up by Fit and once picked up by Impunity. Though I should say that second game that was played really was a throw by Fit, but still, we won't go into that. But Wretched Hag's still a very strong hero. There was a period in time, not too long ago, where Wretched Hag was getting first pick, first banned like every single game. And people seem to forget that there's like these little sections or periods of time where certain heroes are extremely popular, and they kind of die out for no reason. It's kind of like teams just kind of get bored of playing them or something. But yeah, Wretched Hag's still a very strong hero. Hellborn, no surprise there. Tundra and Ophelia.
Yeah, don't wanna see those being played over there on Impunity's side. I like what It's Gosu's doing over there with everyone right-clicking Monkey King pretty much. Casey's the only one that's a little bit different, right-clicking that Dark Hoodie, but I wonder if It's Gosu maybe going to step up with some Monkey King play here of their own, or they're just trying to make a point that they're not a fan of the hero. I don't know. Behemoth, the first lock here by Impunity, so that also is very interesting. And a Wild Soul Plague Runner to follow it up from It's Gosu. So Behemoth, though, I mean, first lock on Impunity's side. Very very unique lock there. Especially with the first one.
Behemoth's an all-around good hero. More teams are realizing his potential. Especially, it's more the fact that you kind of compare him to Magmus, where Magmus is kind of weak laner when he's run as a kind of second support. Magmus is great, in my opinion, when he's ran as a carry. But Behemoth's just a little bit more versatile, and I think that's why teams are liking him a little bit more.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what comes out of him as far as, let me just fix it real quickly. There we go. Get the little refresh going on. All right, so we do see Behemoth, the Wild Soul Plague Rider, the follow-ups again. Aluna Pebbles there, locked by Impunity. So some very strong couple of locks right there coming up from Impunity with their second and third one. And now It's Gosu going to finish it out. But, they threw Pebbles in the lock pool. So, Lens, or at least you would like to think that perhaps Impunity going to try to get that Pebbles pick, but we'll see. We'll see if they manage to get him. Tempest, the final lock. So, man, I mean, this is a strong lock pool we got here. All 6 heroes. I wouldn't be surprised to see played in this game whatsoever.
Yeah. Well, if they could pick all 6, I bet they would. But I know that It's Gosu now, or Sender's team. I like calling it Sender's team. I don't know why.
Yeah.
They've run Wild Soul and both Wild Soul and Tempest in the same game quite often. They'll go some kind of like Suicide Tempest or laning Wild Soul with a jungling Tempest or vice versa. I mean, they'll switch it up, but they like both of those heroes. So I'm not surprised at all to see those both locked by Insania there. Obviously, there's such a great lock pool here. Pebbles, Behemoth, Luna, just a grab bag of great heroes there to choose from. So now the banning phase has taken place. Jerizaiah right away banned by Miss Air. Again, we saw... I think we've seen 3 different drafters on Impunity, if I'm not mistaken. Yesterday it was Ninja Boogie, Lady Ricardo, and now today it's Miss Air. So very interesting.
Well, we brought that up. Whether or not it's more of just overall, like let's just really decide as a team, so it doesn't ultimately matter who's in that our captain spot, or maybe they are just trying to go through different captains. Like one guy wants to step up and feels confident in this game. So, but you're right. This is the 3rd different captain within a matter of 3 games, really. I think even so. The band's going back and forth right here, actually picking up a little bit of steam. So as far as the bands go, Jerizaiah, Magmus, Keeper of the Forest, Dark Lady, Polywalk Priest, and Fade. So Keeper of the Forest definitely the one that stands out to me at least. Again, by impunity, they were blind banning Keeper of the Forest against yesterday Fit. All 3 games, I believe. And this game, they don't blind ban, but they do ban him later on. So again, just clearly a hero that Impunity is not a fan of going up against. But the picking phase starting, and sure enough, they actually get the first pick Glacius there.
Yeah, Glacius is very strong first pick. But there's also a lot of great heroes on the board as well. There's Silhouette, there's Magebane, there's Gemini, as we saw yesterday from Impunity. I love that hero, by the way.
He did well. He did well.
He did well.
His team,
He did do
not
well.
so much.
Breaky, you flaming?
No. It's just, okay. No, I'm just saying, just saying maybe what I saw. The team just didn't do that well, but to make the point that Gemini actually did fairly good. You're putting me in a tough spot here, Troutman. Why are you doing this? Bubbles, Magebane, the follow-up picks actually coming up from its go-to.
Really, really strong. I just wonder why teams don't first pick Magebane, especially in lockpick. Mm-hmm. It's really amazing. Like if you're Legion, my personal belief is if you're Legion and you get a chance to have two of the 3, main carries banned in Dark Lady, Silhouette, and Magebane, then you take one of them. I would take Magebane every single time. Mm-hmm. I just think he's so easy to lane. His blink ability makes him so powerful. His last hitting animation is just perfect. I really, really like the hero in general.
Yeah, I think Nymphora here would be perfect for Impunity, knowing that they could first pick Pebbles even. I mean,
yeah,
if they want to go Glacius, Forsaken, Nymphora, I think that makes a lot of sense. They got 15 seconds left, so we'll see. But yeah, I can now the Forsaken Archer, as you put it, Silhouette on the board, but they choose to go with Forsaken Archer instead. I will say, as Zephyr actually picked him, interesting there, but they did pick Forsaken Archer as well, and that was game 2 against Fit, which of course they won. So perhaps they just like her that much more. But Zephyr to finish it off here for Impunity.
Yeah, I will say, as far as the Forsaken Archer, it's one of their comfort heroes. They like it a lot, and she's a great hero. She's almost, you could put it into like the next hero of the hard carries, like 4 of them, if you want to say. Also, there is almost no stronger lane in the game than Glacius Forsaken Archer. It is ridiculously strong. It's double range, triple nuke, so much damage, and you can initiate on someone from so far away. Zephyr pickup, that's very interesting, especially against a Magebane. And especially against a Bubbles. I don't know if I really like that Zephyr pickup. Because Magebane could just go in, his mana pool is so low as it is, it takes a matter of 2 seconds for him, and he's lost all of his mana.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I'm not quite sure about that one, but Witchslayer now picked up by its Gosu. Most likely going to see that in the middle lane as a solo, not like Impunity plays him where it's just like a support. Hopefully a Pebbles pick up here up, but then again, if they pick Pebbles here, and its Gosu goes for a Luna, it's going to be kind of hard to lane Pebbles.
I think Tempest and then trying to get Plague Rider for the last could be good. Okay, but they are going to go Pebbles, actually, so that makes you wonder a little bit, then, yeah, is it going to be Glacius Pebbles or Glacius Forsaken Archer now? But also, as you put it now with the passing up on a Luna, Luna's now very likely going to be picked up by its Gosu. They got Witchslayer with their final pick. We did, as you say, time and time, not a huge fan of seeing him in that support role, and it is justifiable. I mean, it seems like whenever you say it, sure enough, he doesn't do too well in that support role. So we'll see how its Gosu decides to run him, whether or not it is that support or more of the solo role. As we're waiting, though, on their next couple of log picks here. And again, this is such a strong lock pool, so it's not really surprising to see its Gosu actually using quite a bit of time here to ultimately decide. They still got 40 seconds, but there we go. It is going to be Tempest to Luna to finish things off here for our for Team It's Ghost, and then I guess I'm too surprised by that. Although maybe Behemoth would have worked too, but yeah, Plague Rider, the final pick over here by Impunity. So I don't know. Well, how do you think Impunity finished here?
I just don't really know if I like the Zephyr pickup. It's like mixing passive play with extremely aggressive play, like between Zephyr, Pebbles, and Forsaken Archer, and all those heroes need tons of farm. I don't know how well they synergize with each other. I could be wrong. Maybe they'll prove me wrong. But it's Ghostu's got a cookie cutter lineup. They're gonna go Magebane, Luna top, Bubbles, Suicide, Witchslayer mid, Tempest in the jungle. It's just like standard. Like that is the standard perfect lineup. It's there's no flaws with it. It just kind of works itself out. But now it's Impunity is It's like, where do you want to put the easy lane? Do you want to give Zephyr an easy lane? Do you want to give Forsaken Archer the easy lane? Do you want to give it's like you got choices to make here. Also, got to think about, do you want to go up against the Mage Bane and be aggressive in that sense? And if you do, then you're probably going to have to put a Forsaken Archer Glacius up there.
Yeah.
But then it's going to be up against a pseudo tri lane. If Tempest decides to gank once, you're going to be screwed. So I don't know. It's going to be kind of hard for Impunity, I feel like.
Yeah, you mentioned Witch Slayer being played by Umzai here, very likely going to be in the solo role, so that is good to see here coming out from Team It's Gosu. And I will say something that stands out to me on the Legion side is really the team fight synergy. They got Forsaken Plague, Zephyr, and Glacius really can all put something together in those big team fight clashes. But then you got the Deadly Tempest you have to deal with on the Hellborn side, as well as even a Kelp Field. From Bubbles for counter initiation purpose even. So, yeah, that again, that's where a strength for Impunity, and maybe with Zephyr can obviously very well fit with that, but you are right. I definitely like what you said about a mix of aggressive and passive, really, between those three heroes. So, and also a lot of farm. So we'll see where they decide to ultimately lane as far as their makeup goes. Of course, we are sitting in a pause here to get things kicked off by It's Gosu, so hopefully not too long, but this is just game number 1 here in this best out of 3 once again. Here what is a Group B matchup between Impunity and Team It's Gosu. Again, both teams coming in with a 2-1 record, so very, very important here that they come out with a win. Even if it's a 2-1 series victory, just a win is huge. So we'll see which team comes out on top. We'll also see if either side maybe goes for a little bit of ward protection here. Something we see quite a bit of recently, and you talk about all the time, but yeah, so you think the safest bet here for Impunity is to run the Glacius Pebbles, or?
Yeah, see, that's the thing. I don't know, because if you run a Glacius Pebbles, you're going to have one of these 3 heroes is going to have to solo.
Yeah.
And it's just going to you're going to have to decide. And the smartest thing, honestly, is to maybe run some sort of tri lane with it, in maybe against the Mage Bane. But if you do that, first of all, you're going to have a Plague, and she's already kind of weak in a tri lane. And then you're going to have 2 solos in either Pebbles, Forsaken Archer, or Zephyr. It's just a little awkward. We do see 2 supports running top, so that's actually the best thing I can think of. And actually, Pebbles is joining them. Yesterday we did see both Impunity and FIT sending everybody up to the respective pole lanes, and we almost saw some 5v5 skirmishes before the game even started, technically. So Impunity really loves to do that, and I give them props to it because it's a very effective tool into setting up the game.
Yeah, keyword almost, though. We unfortunately didn't get the action, but yeah, you're right. It was pretty damn crazy to start things off. Now look what Aluna does. Runs all the way over here as the game starts, and she actually places that ward of sight just before the Legion team gets there, so granting some good vision that they're going to be able to use. An interesting ward also. What do you make of that, placing that right away as your first ward, even before the game or the horn blows here?
I think it's just fine. It gives you good information. In fact, right there, if he waited to place it, he would have been dead for sure. Now, I do like the ward placed actually a little bit more to the left of the trees, like more in the lane, because it gives you better information during the laning phase as to where the support heroes are lingering around. But this is fine. I mean, he was just trying to get a quick ward, just give you some information about who's going to be in that lane. I think it's just fine. A lot of people are like, don't put the ward up that early because it's gonna. You shouldn't do that. You should get the full effect. No, you just need to get that out there, get that vision. And actually, they're gonna put their Mage Bane bottom. It looks like.
Yeah, I just noticed that as well. Of course, so Bubbles up top here. That means Witch Slayer going to be middle still. But yeah, Mage Bane Aluna. They are heading towards the bottom lane. Tempest going to his own jungle there on the Hellborn side. So the Legion team, Impunity, Glacius, and Plague Rider right now have roamed to the middle lane. But I wouldn't be surprised if they go all the way, or at least, one of those heroes is definitely going to go to the bottom lane. And it looks like, at least for now, it is going to be Plague Rider. So, yeah, what do you make of that? It's going to be a Plague Rider Zephyr versus a Mage Bane Aluna down here.
Yeah, if Plague Rider actually does make her work, I think they're going to be fine. Mage Bane's going to have to really be manly and man up and kind of jump in there to get any mana burn from that Zephyr. For instance, if Zephyr does use 1 gust and it misses, or it maybe just minimal damage, Mage Bane's got to jump in there and just mana burn the remainder of his mana. That's going to be hard. It's going to be kind of an awkward lane until Plague gets some levels, but it's not, at the same time, once Plague gets levels, Aluna's going to have some levels, and Aluna's one of the best laning supports there is. I really think that Glacius is going to also have to run to this bottom lane, and use that Plague Deny to their advantage and get that lane back and get some proper positioning. Because Forsaken Archer against Bubbles, Forsaken Archer is going to do fine. Pebbles against Witch Slayer, I mean, they're not going to be able to. Actually, I think Pebbles should win that matchup, so I don't even think he needs Glacius there. So yeah, well, hopefully we'll see some movement from this Glacius. I know Miss Air actually played Glacius quite a bit yesterday, and did really well as far as moving around the map.
Yeah, I do remember giving him quite a bit of compliments yesterday. So we'll see if he eventually adjusts. But for now, he is still camping this Pebbles here in the middle lane. Of course, Pebbles being played by Ninja Boogie here, and again, Umzai on the Witch Slayer struggling a little bit, and understandably so because of the situation at hand. So the bottom lane, obviously Plague Rider doing the creep hole after the stack, so getting a good pushback there, and also Zephyr even went over there to farm it up a little bit. So Zephyr not looking well, only 2 creep kills actually so far, so actually not the greatest, as Magebane definitely off to the better start here, an 8-5 creep score against what is still a 2-0 Zephyr. So yeah, it seems like the Illuna Magebane lane is working out fairly well here early on. We do see Glacius going towards the bottom. He's going to, of course, look to pick up the Illusion Rune, though. As Illuna's heading over here, I'm not sure why. Didn't have a war, so I wasn't looking to place it, just maybe spot to see if the rune was going to be picked up, and sure enough it was. Again, by Glacius, who does go back to the middle lane with that. But you do see the positioning here by Pebbles here in the middle lane, and how up he is and how just far back Witch Slayer is. So continuing to play very, very passive here. But yeah, man, I mean, Magebane having a good time down here at this bottom lane. Not really too worried about the this Zephyr Plague Rider, as you put it. So good start here for Kizu and Team Itsukosu.
Yeah, I guess the awkward thing is like Zephyr needs to be in close range for those tornadoes to actually do any kind of harass damage, but you can't do that against a Magebane because he's just going to auto attack you and then burn your mana. So it's very awkward if you're playing Zephyr in this matchup, and I feel it. If they could have somehow gotten the Zephyr against a Bubbles top, and then Forsaken Archer, Plague Lane bottom, that would have been ideal. But the only thing is if it's Ghost who decided to respawn and switch it up, then Impunity would be screwed. So it's kind of like I said, it's a lot of mind games.
Yeah. Oh, top lane, we see Bubbles going in with the assistance on Tempest for a health potion going to be used by Forsaken Archer. Not going to be enough, though. The final auto attack comes out, and he goes down. Forsaken Archer honestly might have been better off just fighting Bubbles there, standing his ground, than trying to run. He nearly got the kill into Bubbles initially, which is what, perhaps triggered Tempest to come in and eventually set up the turnaround. But yeah, a little bit interesting that Forsaken tried to run away when it looked like Lady Ricardo wasn't going to be able to get away in the end. So good bloodlust kill, though, coming out from Itsukosu. And Bubbles didn't get the kill, but of course that's going to almost pretty much guarantee even that he's going to win that lane up here at top now.
Yeah, that's the thing about the long lane. I mean, yes, Forsaken Archer should win against Bubbles, like 1v1, but clearly that was not a 1v1 because he got Tempest in the jungle. Yeah. So really good job there by Insania getting that gank. And now, whenever you get a Tempest Bloodlust like that too, or First Blood, it's really good for them because that's going to increase his farming power, which is in turn going to increase his pushing power. So, if they start getting some pressure on this top lane, Forsaken Archer is definitely going to need assistance, but they really can't afford to have the Glacius leave the lane, have the Plague leave the lane, because they're already, clearly they're not struggling mid, but they're definitely going to struggle bottom, especially if Plague leaves, so that's going to be a free tower whenever Tempest decides to gank and push that again. Yeah. Once he gets more mana, of course.
Yeah, so I think it's safe to say, at least early on here for Impunity, Pebbles is going to be the big key here for them. I mean, they're definitely going to need that great start, the snowballing effect from him to get that early portal key sooner than later and start taking advantage of this Hellborn team, which pretty much is a very, very squishy team, actually, when you do look at it. So, kind of as we put it yesterday, almost putting all their eggs into one basket even at the start of this game. But, at the same time, maybe not to that extreme. Zephyr, though, in a little bit of trouble because Tempest coming in from the jungle. Actually puts it out. There's our Tempest ultimate, and Zephyr will go down. Plague Rider going to fall on top of that. They did not expect Tempest to be there whatsoever. He just came out of the Legion jungle out of nowhere and completely caught both Zephyr and Plague Rider off guard there.
Yeah, that was really good. I mean, one of the things, too, especially when it's 5 minutes and 30 seconds in the game, you rarely expect a gank coming out like that. Like, from the Tempest, in his own jungle, after he just ganks top. So the last thing you're expecting is like, okay, Tempest is in their jungle, he ganked top, he might gank me again. Nope, he's going to come bottom and use his ultimate. So those are great play by Insania, and just Given a big surprise factor in that bottom lane.
He's already level 7. I mean, Tempest is just leveling like freaking crazy. Look at the experience per minute. He's just way up there. Gold per minute obviously leading the way as well. So yeah, as you mentioned, that Bloodless kill was so huge. It just amps up his farm, amps up his push potential, amps up his ganking. Zephyr at the bottom lane has that windshield activated. Going to be able to get away, but again, taking a lot of damage since then. In comes Tempest. Watch again, the Glacial Blast coming out. Of course, he has a Haste Rune chasing him down, the power throw on top. And Zephyr turning into that roasted chicken somehow. 6.5 minutes and out into the game. We already have a 4-0 hero kill advantage in favor of its Gosu, and the MVP definitely going to Insania so far. Of course, playing that Tempest.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, this lineup just works. It's just perfect.
Yeah.
Forsaken Archer taking a little bit of damage right here. Top lane, the Piercing Arrows actually comes out on the bubbles. And if he can keep his Skeletons actually... Oh, no, he does have boost, so he's going to be too fast. That was very close there. And Glacius gets caught up in his own jungle, as well as Pebbles now gets the Hex from Witch Slayer, as well as the power throw. Tempest is trying to pursue. He does have a stun in 1 second, but no vision. The stun coming out from Nzai there. And kind of some awkward positioning there. Chuck comes out on Tempest, but another kill taken now on the Ninja Boogie. So wow, this is a 6-0 lead now in favor of its Gosu. This is looking just amazing for them.
Yeah, this is definitely getting to the point of impunity. You know, it's where's their head at really? Because this is not a start you need whatsoever. It's very difficult to recover from something like this. Because again, if anything, their shining hope was this Pebbles here in the middle lane. But especially after that death right there, you see at the bottom lane, Gust attempted by Zephyr missing. But that's Mage Man. I mean, they don't have a stun down here, so Mage Man easily going to be able to blink away, not much help. Tempest actually going to go down right here. Oh my god, he was sitting in the jungle with so little life. Living life from the edge, so perhaps Insania a little bit too cocky because of the situation at hand, but he ends up getting caught out by an Ice Imprisonment from Glacius and falls with an auto attack later. So unfortunate for Tempest, but at the same time, you know, gotta be a little bit more careful than that. Not hanging around with a slither of life like he had, so... Good kill, though, for the Legion team. Specifically, Glacius actually got a decent bonus, actually. 340 bonus gold for him, so... More wards, and he finished Strider, so...
Yeah, that's, well, that's a testament to that ward that he just placed in the jungle, which is a very, very early ward, especially in your own jungle at this time. So, but hey, it did work, and they got a kill on Tempest, and they need any kill they can get at this point.
Yeah, Ninja Boogie on Pebbles again. The focus still really on him. He's still farming 252 gold per minute, so it's not like it really just fell off to the point of can't come back, but it is definitely worse than it was prior to that death. He does have Steam Boots and Bottle. You would think that perhaps Portal Key could be the next in line, but yeah, still a little bit of time for that. Plague Rider Zephyr once again at the bottom lane. He gusts in Mage Bane, but as said before, Mage Bane just blinking out, taking minimal damage from it eventually. And he's going to be fine. But, you know, Zephyr, this is definitely... He's kind of this hero as well, especially once he gets those Tornadoes maxed out, or the Cyclones, I guess. He can start really picking up his farm a bit and, you know, may start to be able to recover himself. And then, of course, there's Forsaken Archer, who has been having an off time here at this top lane. But you also stress this as well. There's a lot of farm, especially early on in this game, that needs to go around. Zephyr, Forsaken, and Pebbles need a good amount of farm early on. And, you know, of course, there's just only so much on the map that you can get, so...
yeah, and the difference, too, is when you could say, well, Tempest needs farm, Mage Bane needs farm, Witch needs his Portal Key, Bubbles. Well, Tempest is in the jungle, though, so that's a good thing about always having a jungle here, is it's you spread out the farm evenly, and actually Tempest ult comes out, Bubbles Shell Surfer is going to get the kill as well onto Glacius. Pebbles coming in with the stun Chuck combination, but doesn't really do much damage, and actually Tempest is pursuing. He does have his Ghost Marchers. We've seen a couple Ghost Marchers Tempest now as of late. And, wow, this is just looking worse and worse for Impunity at this point. But, yeah, too much farm. The lanes are just set up very awkwardly. I don't know. I didn't like the lineup to begin with. I mean, Pebbles is a great hero, but just the lineup in general does not synergize well.
Well, the Zephyr is what threw it off. I mean, as you talked about, the Zephyr is really just what kind of, like, that doesn't really make too much sense. I mean, that was even before the lock pool took place, obviously, so... They still had 2 more picks to go, and it was still odd. Oh my god, speaking of Zephyr, he gets stunned by a Luda, then the Power Throw Void Rift, or Mana Rift, excuse me, comes out and gets the kill right there. And I see you blinking, Hex on a Plague Rider. Plague Rider not level 6, so don't expect any Plague Goo. He just gets dropped. It's just getting, it's getting ugly here for Impunity. We're only 11 minutes in, and dare I say we're getting to that point of, all right, you know, Game 1 didn't really go our way. Let's just go ahead and move into Game 2 ASAP, because I don't think we're having a good time here. So
Yeah, I can't stress enough just how like cookie cutter this lineup is. It's really suicide plus bubbles plus Witchslayer or Poly mid, plus jungler like Tempest or Ophelia, plus one of those 3 hard carries being Silhouette, Magebane, or Dark Lady, plus a really good laning support like Glacius or Luna. Like you run that same equation every single game, you're gonna win 9 out of 10 times. It just works. It works so well. We see Complexity do it every game. We see Fnatic run it quite often. Fnatic does it with a little variation of like a Luna, Behe, aggressive tri-lane.
yeah.
But it works, and I could see a lot of teams using that same strat.
Yeah, it has been proven to work time and time again, pretty much. And no different here for its Gosu. So, Impunity, obviously, 12 minutes in now, they're losing 10-1 in Hero Coast, 7,600 gold lead, 7,000 experience lead. Like I said, we're just hitting the 12 mark now. I mean, maybe it's at the very least they're just going to get that portal key on Pebbles and see what they can make happen on that. But it's just looking so grim here, and it's hard to sit here and say, how can you recover? Because the big part of it is there's just so much farm that needs to go around, but there just isn't much available. You do see Zephyr, he went over to the jungle, cleared it up. They weren't even stacks, I believe, but at least got a little bit of farm here in the jungle. And now going to come back to the bottom lane with some assistance. Tundra Blast going to be used right there. The Graveyard Stun will hit Zephyr, though, and that's probably going to be the saving grace, actually. He does have a gust coming up. Oh, the Silver Bolt on the Glacius. Glacius health punch at the last second, stays alive. Where's the... Oh, he used the gust. There's a Typhoon even used, so they finally get the kill. But that was a solo Witch Slayer. It took 3 heroes, several abilities, and near death on Glacius right there to get the kill. Oh, man. It shows you how far behind they really are right there. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, Pebbles actually getting caught by Keflin. In running Tempest. He does have an ultimate in 5 seconds. Not even going to be necessary, though. Power throw on top of the Shell Surge, Song of the Sea combo from Bubbles. Gets the kill. And they're going to counter push now in the middle lane here. So,
yeah, so much farm on this Gosu side, and that's going to jumpstart even more with a kill on Pebbles, as well as the tower gold there. Are they going to be able to defend this tower at bottom? It's looking like they want to walk over there and maybe do something. Witchslayer does not have a silver bullet if he used it on the Glaciers, which could have been a really cool kill if he got that.
Yeah.
It was really close. And actually, they're going to get this tower deny. Oh, more and more bad things happening for Impunity, as we're already seeing a 9,100 gold gold lead and an 8,000 experience lead for its Gosu.
yeah, that's not good. Last time I checked. So, yeah, the deny right there again. You got to think, what the mental state is like. If there's a lot of just complaining going on in chat, if it's just really all quiet, one of those awkward situations of everyone knows it's pretty much over. It's just a matter of when can it be over, but. I mean, again, they are going to keep trying here for now, as they really have no choice, simply put. But not surprising at the same time. They're doing a little bit of stacking here in the jungle. So, and this is, Zephyr can definitely come over here and increase his GPM as a result of that, as he's kind of heading over now. So, now, granted, you remember when they even nerfed that. I believe it does half damage now to creeps. I forget how much damage. 75%. That's right. It used to do half damage, but it was reverted to 75%. Used to be 100 though, percent before they nerfed it because his jungle farming potential was too strong. Anyways, so Zephyr could definitely still go to the jungle though, being the point, and get a good amount of farm as you see right here, except against Wild Hunters. Those are pretty damn annoying. But he's trying his best. He does have a Beast Heart delivered, so Helm of the Black Legion is on the way. Steam Boots and Ring of the Teacher on Forsaken Archer. Again, we're 15 minutes in. And so not the most impressive build, and Forsaken Archer going to get easily caught right here in the middle lane. Stalagmite's way at Witchslayer, but Tempest was able to dodge. You do see Tempest, he actually picked up a Tablet of Command, which helped him set up that kill right there. And while this is going on, Magebane, oh, by the way, Kizu is just farming the top lane and pushing it up well on his way to that Rune Cleaver, of course.
Yeah, this is just getting a little out of control now. And in a game like this, when you have those heroes like Zephyr and like Pebbles and Forsaken Archer, and you're playing against a hero like Magebane, you would hope that the worst thing about it is when you're in the you got to be in the lead to make things even. You got to be really far in the lead to actually be just kind of in the lead. But when you're trailing, that's really bad. You should not be trailing against the Magebane. You have to be on top and in the lead constantly.
Yeah.
It's just very scary hero to play against, as we've seen time and time again. It just wins games.
Yeah, you know, not really much further to say about that. I mean, Dark Lady obviously is similar with that logic as well. So, but yeah, Okuizu, again, Rune Cleaver is actually very, very close now to being purchased. I believe it's 2,400 gold needs total. Then they'll get those 2 broadswords and have that in the bank. So about a 16.5-minute Rune Cleaver as there we go. Being delivered to him or in the very near future now. So, but again, it's not just me. I mean, you look at all around. Tempest, obviously, in San Diego continues having to have an insane game. 445 gold per minute. You even see him giving a shout out right there to Noob Marchers. Noob G Marchers, excuse me. You see, I mean, hell, even Aluna has Steam Boots, and she's been the ward bitch for the team. So, Witch there, he picked up an I believe I saw him finish an Astral Life. It's just a matter of getting delivered to him on top of the Grave Locket, of course. And the starter say yes, so yeah, all across the board, it's just really impressive items right now for Hellborn team. Again, Portal Key on Pebbles, that's, you know, maybe that item that could be very helpful here for Impunity. He has a double damage rune actually currently. He's going to take a Kelfield right here. He's going to take the stun, though. Of course, he had a double damage and a haste rune activated. Not too often you can see 2 runes at once, but Ninja Boogie is going to be more than fine. But he's a matter of really another minute or so of this kind of farm, and he will have that Portal Key. So Zephyr, he's farming in the jungle. He's now up to 267 gold per minute, so believe it or not, he has actually recovered. Forsaken Archer, still struggling, but trying her best. So, what? Obviously, this is, I don't know, it's kind of silly to ask this, but does the Legion team